Chef Miro, and today I'm going to show you how to cook something really simple and delicious. Pork chop with some sweet caramelized apples. First we're gonna start by preparing our steak. So to do that we're gonna cut through the fat, and the reason for that is it will help it to cook a lot faster and it will caramelize a lot better. To season with, I'm gonna use some olive oil, some sea salt, brown sugar, and of course black pepper. Now grab a lemon and squeeze half a lemon into a bowl of cold water. What this does is prevent the apples from getting brown. Now I'm going to peel the skin of my apples. You don't really have to do that, but I do this because the skin is a little bit chewy after the apples are cooked. Once the apples are peeled, slice the apples into wedges and then cut the hard part off. Here I've got one red onion. It's optional, I'm gonna slice it into wedges and I'm gonna use it later to garnish my plate. We're gonna use some brown sugar to caramelize our apples. Just turn down the flame because you don't want the sugar to burn. Some olive oil in the pan for the steak. Once we have our pan hot, we can start cooking our steak. As you can see, the sugar is melted now and we can put the apples in. Just make sure you keep an eye on that sugar because you really don't want it to burn. It will give this really bad bitter taste. There we go, a little shake. After about 2 minutes, we're ready to turn the steak. Actually, I'm not so happy with the color, but that's because the flame on my stove is not really high. Anyway, there will be color eventually. What we want is a lot of color on the steak. It's where all the flavor is. As you can see, now apples are golden brown. Just check with the knife if they're cooked in the middle. Okay, mine apples are ready, so I can take them off now. For this recipe I'm using gala apples. They're pretty good for this particular recipe because the water content in the apples is not really high and you do get a little bit of crunch on them. Otherwise they will turn into a puree. So the steak looks pretty good now. I'm just gonna check with my finger to see if it's nice and firm. It took about 7 minutes to cook this steak, well done. Now I'm gonna make some sauce for my steak. So for this I'm using some apple cider, which I'm adding to the pan. In the pan you got the flavor from the onion and from the pork steak. Some fresh thyme. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook the cider. We need to cook the alcohol and reduce the cider by half. Once that is done, we're gonna add some double cream. You can also add a little bit of water because the sauce will get really thick very fast. But I like my sauce quite thick, so for me it's fine. Check if the seasoning is okay and adjust it with a little bit of salt, some black pepper. Everything is ready now and we can proceed to plating our dish. For the final touches, I'm gonna drizzle some of this delicious sauce around the plate. And this is how you do pork chop with caramelized apples and cider cream sauce.